You have seen these portraits behind me before in other videos, right?
So about a small mirrorless camera. Really, this is something surprising for myself. But I thought, yeah, let's try it out. So I bought the camera I'm filming right now. It's a Canon EOS M50. And yeah, so with the M50, with the 50mm lens and the 20mm lens, I went to Tel Aviv and started shoot portraits there. Before I start talking about Tel Aviv and Israel, I want to say thanks to Gabriel and Sagi, two friends of mine in Israel, both photographers. Check out their Instagrams here. One is a portrait photographer, the other one is a street photographer. Really nice pictures you're gonna see there. Strongly recommend to check them out. And yeah, let's start about my journey to Israel. It was interesting because I was used to use big cameras, but I really enjoyed to have a very small package of camera in my hand. I just could carry it all day long and didn't even feel it with the 20mm lens. It was really easy to walk with that around. And so I decided also to shoot wide-angle portraits at some point. But even the 50mm lens was not that heavy for shooting portraits. So let's start with the story about Israel and the portraits and the photographs I did there. I have the feeling I shot way too much images compared with the analog cameras, but I really liked a lot of them. So let's start with two images about the city I like. You have a beautiful beach there. It's really pretty. The people are all very friendly. All people are speaking English. So let's say all people I met. It's a very new city. It's about 100 years old. And I strongly recommend to go there. You're gonna like it. Here's another image of the city I quite like, but let's start with portraits, right? With Gabriel we went to this hummus place. It's called Hummus, Shlomo and Doron. I hope I pronounce it somehow right. On the way there I took an image one of the street paintings. You're gonna find a lot of them in Israel. They're really pretty. And then it started already with seeing like a cooking show on the street. It was really entertaining. A lot of people were standing there. And I met already, or I saw already Elad. It's like Elad, I think it's pronounced. It's like the chef from there. And he was working with a lot of passion on his hummus dishes. And when he walked away to the kitchen, I just saw this positive energy and I had to ask him for a portrait. So I walked also to the kitchen with my camera with the 20mm lens on it. Asked him if it would be okay, and he was pretty happy with it. So this is the first image I took of him in the kitchen. You can see the positive energy and his smile. But I still wanted to have a close-up too, so I changed to the 50mm lens. And this was like one snap I did of him. And the eye autofocus like captured it in the right moment. And I really got this nice expression. Yeah, I really was happy with the outcome of that one. Later we went with Gabriel to like market. There were like a lot of old shops there, and you know I'm shooting wet lit cameras, so we found this plate camera or this field camera in a shop, and I really liked the shop. The owner was super nice. Again, everybody there speaks pretty good English. He did too. His name is Amos. I'm so sorry if I pronounce the names wrong somehow. I really try my best. So I did this portrait of him in his shop. I like the light there. There was no additional light from myself. I just used what I've seen there. And yeah, that's another one from Israel I like. We went with Sagi to the market. There is in Tel Aviv, there's a market on Tuesdays and Fridays where a lot of artists are showing off their work. And the first guy I took a picture of is the guy with the sewing machine. First of all, the sewing machine is the same one that my grandma was using. I think he modified it with this Superman thing you can see there, so he doesn't have to push a pedal or something to get the things going. And I liked his outfit, and he was like sewing like very nice patches there. Then we went on the market, and I saw this painter. She was very passionate about her work. You could see it in her expression. And the last portrait was of a girl. She had a booth there at the beginning of the market somewhere. Just passing by, we were going, I think, to an ice cream shop. My girlfriend and Sagi already went ahead, and I just saw this smile on the booth. Really forgot your name. I'm sorry about that. In any chance, if you see it, let me know and I'll send you the picture. So this was really a pretty short street portrait, I want to call it. I just asked her, she agreed. I took 2 or 3 pictures and I said thanks, and I walked away because the ice cream was waiting. No, I'm just kidding. I really like the energy of this portrait. She's smiling. It was like a fast one, but I liked it. I don't know if you have that, but I have that sometimes. If I go in a country, I imagine how people look like there, like how a typical guy or a typical girl from Tel Aviv would look like. And when I walked down the street, I saw this girl in the bakery. She was smiling, was super happy. I was listening to music, was standing outside of the bakery. And so I just raised up my camera and asked her with my hands if you want to look in my camera and I take a portrait. She was like a little bit shy and smiling and moving a little bit too fast, but I captured her in a pretty nice moment. Yeah, and another day, of course, we went to Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem, we went first to a market, I went down to the street, and then I saw a guy with a long beard. And if I see people with long beards, I'm addicted to that. I like to take portraits of them on wet plates, but also on the street. So, and he was taking pictures of people, so I thought, oh, I'd just ask him, and he agreed. And he really made some funny faces and like very interesting one. I shot one. The first portrait I want to show is, the first portrait you see is with the wide angle lens, like with the 22mm. It's like 35mm on full frame. And he made this funny face, so I really like it. And I did another one with the 50mm lens, just because. I don't know, we had time and he had fun. And so I did even 3 portraits. I don't do that very often. Yeah, but what was really interesting in Israel for me is that there are a lot of girls in the military. In Austria we have the military only for 9 months. In Israel it's for 3 years. And everybody has to go, girls and boys. In Austria only the boys have to go to the military. So that for me it was interesting that I saw so many girls. So I asked these 2 guys if they want to stand for a short portrait, and they did. Again, everybody's smiling, there's like nothing to ask them, that's very natural. And I think there were like 4 or 5 other girls walking before them, and they were happy as well, so I really liked it. This is another day we went to the Dead Sea. There's just, I want to show you one of the landscape images so you have an idea how it looked like where we went. And on the way there we passed like a security booth or something, not sure what was this about, and I was not really looking, but Gabriel said, these 2 girls look really beautiful. They talked with him and he said like, you have to take a picture of them, and I was really too slow to see it a little bit earlier, so I just were bending over to his seat. He opened the window and they agreed, as you can imagine, and I shot these portraits of these young girls, and I really liked the outcome. It was very natural. It's like both are smiling and maybe a little bit blushing because Gabriel said that they are beautiful. Normally I don't like to shoot portraits when I'm a little bit lower as my subject, but this worked out pretty well. I really like it. There's one thing that's pretty unusual about Tel Aviv. A lot of people have pets there, so that's not unusual, but you see a lot of cats on the street. You see that in other countries too, but here it's different. Like the people are buying cat food for the cats on the street, and the cat food is laying around on all the walls, on the street. There are little cups with cat food, you find them everywhere. And that's the reason you see a lot of cats. So as you can imagine, I took some cat portraits too, because these guys are not that shy. Normally in other countries I saw that cats are very shy, but these are not. So I could get a really interesting portrait of one of the cats. It was pretty late. I'm not sure how late was it, but it was super dark. I had to raise my ISO very, very high. But I just captured it in the right moment. With the autofocus, I'm much more flexible to such things. That's pretty hard shooting pets with a Mamiya camera with the manual autofocus. That was pretty tough all the time. There are so much more stories to tell about portraits I did. And if you want to hear more stories about my portraits, maybe like in-depth stories, I could imagine that I tell a story about people I met and spent more time with, then let me know in the description, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, that's it for the vlog today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back, guys.